Hi. In this next episode, we're going to talk about Autofs. Autofs is an automatic file system mounting service that mounts file systems on demand. Where, in the case of NFS, as a client, you are having your share constantly coming down from the network, being automatically or being mounted on your system. Autofs, on the other hand, will only use that network traffic when you are accessing that mount point, and it'll automatically unmount if that point is not being accessed. It's an alternate way of mounting an NFS server or any other type of network file share. The steps that we're going to go through to configure Autofs will include, of course, installing the Autofs service, then creating a mount point that is actually defined in the auto.master master configuration file for Autofs. In here, you're going to define your mount point and a very specific file that you are going to then create and edit in order to define what the permissions are and where the mount is actually coming from. Then, your next step is simply start and enable that service, and then when you need to, you can access the mount point in order to see or verify that mount. After a little while, once that mount is not in use, the Autofs system will automatically unmount that system to save that network traffic. Coming up in this next lab, we're going to go through all the steps in order for us to be able to mount our NFS share using Autofs. Please join us in this next lab where we set up and configure Autofs for our NFS client.
In this episode, we're going to show how to work with Autofs when mounting your network shares. So Autofs is a service that allows you to mount network shares, like from NFS that we have configured here on CentOS 1, and we are going to auto-mount it on CentOS 2. Now, auto-mounting is simply the action of mounting that network share on demand. So it doesn't actually use up any network resources to mount until you actually access that mount point where that auto mount is configured to be. So to set it up, first thing I'm going to do is switch to the root user. And now as the root user, first I'm going to install using DNF install Autofs -y. This will download the Autofs service. And the next step is to edit the master auto.master configuration file for Autofs and add the line that will explain where that data is coming from. So here I'm going to say vi etc auto.master. Now this is the master auto file. It's going to map my my mount point. All right, so we're actually going to say that we have a mount point called NFS data that is having its configuration, like everything that's included inside there, is coming from auto.nfs data, this secondary file, which is going to have the necessary instructions on where this mount point is being populated from. So let's go ahead and press escape. And by the way, we're actually going to be creating this file. So let me actually right click and copy the file name. Go ahead and save everything and create that secondary Autofs file. And in here, I'm going to give a mount point name. So inside that NFS data, it's going to mount something called files, and it's going to have the RW permission and defining the mount. We're going to say from 172.16.10.101, we have NFS data being mounted. All right, so let's go ahead and press escape, :WQ, and now restart the NFS service. So here, I'm going to say systemctl start Autofs, and also systemctl enable Autofs. Now, let's take a look at our mount point. We see NFS data. However, I wonder if there is anything in there right now. There's nothing because our mount is not being accessed. Our mount, as defined here, let me show you if I type cat etc auto.nfs, our mount point is actually called files inside NFS data, but we are not actually accessing that mount point, so there's no reason for the server to actually mount the share. Now watch what happens when I say cd NFS data files. Now it has detected that I am accessing a mount point, and Autofs kicks into gear, and here is that project file that was created here being mounted on demand only when I access that file's location. All right, and we can also type the command mount where we can see the Autofs mounting happening right in using the mount command. So that is using the Autofs service in order to mount a share at runtime, meaning on demand as soon as I access the share. Now let's go ahead, I'll switch directories, and after a little while, it should automatically unmount based on this Autofs service. This will conclude our episode. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.